Look. Okay, I'm ready today.
Okay.
Look. Dope boy make a jump. I never ever been a punk. I give my lady what she want.
What?
Today I didn't need lunch. I hate how CT drives. I was trying to survive. He was in and out of lanes quick. The way he drives some insane shit. Practice safe sex.
Yes.
I never play safe bets. Tonight I'm gonna eat some kitty cat. I'ma get my face wet.
Jeez,
Can't take nothing from me. Let's have fun and be funny. Let's go Just Us League podcast. This
Episode 20. Hey!
Yay!
I know some of these words.
Yo, so listen, before we even get started, I wanted to start, first off, another episode of a Justice League podcast. I'm your boy, Doughboy.
It's your boy, CT.
Bro, I got some big news. This is a total curveball. I didn't tell you this.
You did not, because we've been talking for about 20 minutes.
Yeah, and I kind of had to hold it, but I wanted to wait till the cameras were rolling so I could let you know something. And it's difficult for me to tell this to you because I don't know how you didn't know before. And without giving out too much information about your personal life, I'll just say it like this, brother. Your vehicle is a truck, not a car. So I'm going to need you to stop driving that truck like it's a Honda Coupe, a Honda Civic. It is not a Neon. It is a truck. What is wrong? Why do you drive the... I was so... I will never ride with you. First of all, thank you for picking me up. You're a solid individual.
I appreciate that.
But you'll never do it again. You understand me? I hate... Why do you drive that way? You drive with a complete disregard for everyone else. It is a shit show. Watching you the way that you drive. Have you been driving this your whole life? This way?
I'm just waiting for the opportunity to speak.
Nah, nigga, nah. Let me keep going. You was riding people's tail. You're back in the back, all animated. I'm like, this. It was a very trying time. I had to stop. Took everything in me to not exit the vehicle. So I want you to drive and practice safer. When you're not unsafe when you drive. But the way that you drive, have you ever had a road rage incident in your life?
No.
I don't want you to. I want you to drive slower and get off people's asses. Now you can have the floor.
All right. First, I want to thank you for leading with thank you.
Thank you, sir. I do appreciate it, but I was scared as hell. I didn't know if I was going to make it.
As we get into this, folks, y'all already know it's story time.
Yes, it's story time.
So here's what happens. The courageous, the powerful, the incredible Doughboy says, hey, man, can you pick me up? Without going into the rest of the details, I say yes. Now, once I pick him up, he lives directly by a freeway that we need to get on to get here, right? Doughboy likes to get places like 30 minutes early, which is incredible. I'm never late. So I know that what I have to do to get to somewhere on time. With that said, as we're going towards his freeway, there is an accident.
It's a lot going on.
And there are so many cars. Traffic is backed up literally for miles. At this point, it's 35 minutes till showtime. And we have to get somewhere that is pretty much
And you know 40... I like to be there 30 minutes early, and it's 35 minutes to get there.
Exactly.
Okay.
But we're 45 minutes away. So we're 35 minutes before showtime, but 45 minutes away. All right? So I say, okay. And at that point, I proceed to do every single thing to get us to our location before the show is supposed to start safely. Because here's what you got to remember. And this is what I say to everybody who drives like I do. I'm not going to fuck my shit up. Why is that not obvious? You think I'm about to wreck my truck?
But you'll be so close to people's cars.
No, I drive aggressively, and that's what you're supposed to drive, aggressively. Let me tell you why.
You're supposed to drive in anticipation of others' mistakes.
I'm sorry. I thought I was talking. I thought it was my turn. So as I was driving, this is what you got to understand. When you drive how I drive, you sense variables. You also try to predict the unpredictable. So when you saw me do something like, I don't want to say this on here, but anyway.
I knew what you did. When you was,
when you saw me do
doing
that,
what you had to do.
It's me anticipating the person's speed. And I also, as you saw, when we were on the freeway and we were on the street, there were a couple times I could not zig and zag because I was anticipating, this person ain't gonna let me over. This person is speeding up. This person is slowing down. So I have enough space. I am a safe driver. I'm not gonna ruin my shit. That's what you need to remember.
You did get us here safe in one piece.
Yes.
And you did get us here early.
Come on.
So I'm not mad at that. But what I do, on a serious note, what I do want to let you know is, because, and I think I'm probably more sensitive to driving because I'm literally in the zone of teaching Kiara how to drive right now. So it's like you got to relearn everything that you do. So,
your eyes were closed a couple times. I was like, oh, he's scared.
So let me tell you about that. So I was, bro, I got taken, like I got kidnapped when I was young. Like this is a serious thing. I literally, I hate ever tell the story because then it gets like sucks all the air out of the room. I was kidnapped and I got driven into a brick wall. Literally when I was young, when I was like 5, 6 years old. So I have flashbacks when people drive too fast because it makes me feel like I'm not in control.
If you don't think we need more context.
Okay.
You out your rabbit ass back.
Okay. So what happened was when I was young, when I was about 5 years old, I was taken against my will from an individual, and they were like, I'm going to take him to Jesus. And
stop this individual shit. Did your dad take you from your mom, or did your mom take you from your dad?
I put it like this: it was a person. It was. I don't want to name the individual, but it was an
You're
individual.
not naming them. You're just telling us who this person is.
It was a person. It was just a person.
I don't think it was an alien.
Okay, so it was a person.
No, we're not doing. Who took you? Because let me tell you why.
Okay.
Us hearing this story.
Right.
Okay, that's number one. Mm-hmm. I need you to understand you were returned.
Okay.
Unless your real name is Pablo or something like that. Your name is Anthony.
Okay, so let's just say it was a family member. It was a family member. So family member picks me up, and for whatever reason, they think I need to go see Jesus. Whatever. Drive us into a brick wall. I had like pictures of like when my whole hip was shattered when I was a kid.
I didn't know that.
It was like a serious thing. Yeah, and I joke about it now, but it was a serious thing then.
Yeah.
So this happened when I was 5, and this is actually going to tie into another story that we're going to talk about later. But so when I'm driving with people and when they're driving super fast, I feel out of control. And like even with that situation, sometimes I have flashbacks. And I can if you get too close, like I don't know if you've seen this when we were driving, I'll hold on to the thing because like I'm bracing.
I saw that.
I'm bracing for it to happen.
Right.
So I get scared on different reasons for when people drive fast. So that's just one thing. But with you, this is the reason why I do really want you to chill out because, bro, the world is opening back up. Mm-hmm. People are crazy out here, and the way you drive, I could easily see a confrontation arising, and I never want that for you. Like you got to understand, you're a black brother. You're you know what I'm saying. You're a sizable young man. Like you know what I'm saying. So when people see you in their rear view, and if you're on their ass, and they see you in the back, like. People could be like, and people are crazy. So I just would never want you to. So all I'm saying, bro, because I drive like a middle-aged white woman. Like I drive like in anticipation, because this is how you got to think about driving. If you're driving so fast and you're in anticipation of others' mistakes, how you're not giving yourself enough time to fix the problem if something happens in a split second.
From your perspective.
Well, no, if you're driving a vehicle fast and then something happens split second, you don't have that much time to correct it.
The picture you're painting is very, I'm sure the donation is going to be listening to this. Oh my God, CT, I can't believe you put no boy in danger. But Team CT and other people who have sense realize, so tired of the mother, and people who have sense are listening to this and can be perceptive. So I'm saying from your perspective, because you were in the passenger side and you have past trauma with cars.
I do.
Would you say that you have a bias to anything involving traffic when you're not driving?
I would say that.
Okay. So if that's what you would say.
Don't take the air out of my balloon.
I would never on purpose. So if you're biased and you're facing trauma every time that you're not in the driver's seat, because when you're not in the driver's seat, you're not in control. So would you say because of your bias that everything is heightened when you're in the car with somebody else behind the wheel?
Begrudgingly, I would have to say yes.
Okay.
Did I use begrudgingly right?
You did.
Okay.
And you know what? With that response, I don't even need to validate my point.
No, but you do need to slow your ass down when you be driving because you drive super fast. I'm just saying, bro, you have to drive. But
I hear your opinion.
All that. We could go back and forth.
No. I want to say this last point.
Okay.
Again, I'm not going to fuck my shit up. And I think what's important to know is when you're driving, I have different sensibilities.
Okay.
And like I say, you always, when you're driving, try to predict the unpredictable. You have to be very cognizant of the things and the people around you. And the times that you saw me doing my hands like this, I can tell you who was behind that driver's seat that was in front of me. Because based on car model, passengers in car and people, I'm like, okay, cool, I'm good. Bald old guy, I can take that.
Okay. So
come on, bro. Do you think I'm about to do that behind 4 black men or 4 white guys?
And an Impala with smoke coming out the windows?
Come on.
But you know what this brought to me, and I wanted to get your thoughts on this. I think people drive like their personality. You drive very much like you are in regular life. So what I mean by that is you definitely make sure that you're heard. You announce yourself when you come in a room. You when you're working with people, you're very upfront. This is this. And when you drive, you're very much like that. Me, I'm a little less, confrontational. I'm a little, I take it a little slower. Hey, you go over, hey, like, and do you think that there's any correlation with people's personality and how they drive? Because I definitely could see your personality drive. I was like, oh, he drives just like how he is on a day-to-day basis.
I, to some degree, would agree with that, but not fully, because this situation was completely different than any situation where you've ridden with me before, because you've ridden with me for years.
I have.
And while I'm on the subject, you've ridden with me from 2009 to maybe, like, you rode with me all the time until I think I lost my car in 2011.
Yeah.
Because it was an old joint.
Right.
But never.
But you're making my point for me now, because now I can prove to you that your personality comes out when you drive. You want to know how I can prove this to you?
I would love to prove the rest of my sentence. If that's cool.
Go ahead. Because I'll be waiting for you to say shit like I be knowing it's coming. Okay.
You don't be listening. You'd be like, okay. But what about cheese?
Bang, bang, bang.
So riding with me today,
right.
The difference is this situation had us to a studio time that is paid for, that we shan't be late for, that we're like, oh man, this accident is throwing us off. We got to get there. Shan't? Yes. Should not.
You're over there just shaking your head like you've heard it plenty of times.
Yes. He's a white man who's probably educated. He's heard shan't.
What is shan't? Oh my God. Shan't is not a word. Hold on. We're not about to do this. Hold on. We not, nigga. We not just finna make up words.
You think I'm making up words?
Shan't is a word?
But you just asked me, did you use begrudgingly correct?
But shan't is a word?
And now my opinion doesn't matter.
Bam, I know you ain't got no facial hair, but is what he's saying correctly?
Yes.
Shits?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, though, boy.
I've never, okay, use it in a sentence one more time.
I literally just did.
So I
shan't be denied.
I shan't drink and drive.
Yes.
I shan't lose weight.
Well, you can if you want to.
I shan't get a job in this hectic economy.
I mean, if they hire you.
Okay, so this is why I can tell you that your personality comes out in your driving. And I've seen you do this.
Dump on me episode.
No, not dump on you, but I'm just saying your personality comes out. You know why?
Why?
Are you the type of person that will get upset if you let somebody pass you, right? And then they pass you and you let them like go in traffic and they don't give you one of these? What's your response?
Upset is a strong word.
What would your reaction be? Like, mother.
That would be my
reaction. Your personality. That's your personality.
Literally with that face.
Coming out to drive. But I definitely think I think that there should be something looked into, like a personality driving assessment where you can kind of gauge a person's driving tendencies based on the type of person that they are. Which leads me to my next point, which is why everybody is here and why you're looking at me that way. Okay. New nickname alert. You ready for this?
Snap. I'm ready.
You ready for this? I'm going to do it one time. New nickname alert.
No, you can do the whole thing. Right, okay, go ahead.
Because if I mess it up, I'll stumble out the block.
Got it.
New nickname alert. Dope for Winfrey.
Why do they call you Dope for Winfrey?
Because once I get $1 billion talking, you niggas ain't going to see me no more. Come on, man. Come on. We don't see Oprah. Where is Oprah? A car for you. A car for you. I just knew this would work great.
Oprah Winfrey was fire. Because it was like, where are we going with this? And you know what you could have said?
Oprah didn't get $1 billion and then she didn't disappear?
You know what you could have said?
What could I have said?
They call me Dope for Winfrey. Why do they call you Dope for Winfrey? Because you get a bar and you get a bar. Come on, man.
Dang it.
You rap.
Bar.
Because when I walk into a cipher, you get a bar, you get a bar, you get a bar.
And that would have hit, and you would have gave me the recognition it deserved.
Man.
Because you don't hold back on the new nickname alerts.
I look forward to them. As a matter of fact, I want to give you something that this is a love back to Team CT and to the donation for our episode support, right?
Okay.
This is something I want to start. Comment of the week. CTW, the of doesn't need to be mentioned.
Okay.
CTW, number one, I want to give mad love to the Southern lady. She commented, truth be told, this is becoming my favorite podcast with 85 South Show, of course. Love y'all's comedic chemistry. Right?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, man. Here's another one. Where did it go? LMAO, y'all got the funniest tangents. That's from Dwayne Isaacs.
Hey, right? Dwayne, okay.
Chris Berry says, I'm with CT. I don't eat watermelon. That was petty of me, but I had to mention it. And last but not least, I want to give love to this brother because he goes every week along with Dark Fusion, Black on Black. This brother comments on every episode multiple times on both pages, your
Shout
page and my page.
Okay, I've seen him, yes.
Always showing love, man. So I just want to say, comments of the week, thank you guys so much for showing love and supporting the show, yo.
Look at you with new segments for the show.
I mean, we got to give love where love is given. You know
That's what I like, man. How was your week, man? How was your week,
brother?
This
the
week?
So peaceful, relaxing. A lot of the things from my office came through.
Okay.
It's dope in there.
Is it like a bunch of like comic book lore stuff like that? Like, is it like real kid? Like, is it like
real kid?
I'm just saying, is it like are you building it like to where what you would have wanted your room to be when you was like 16? Because like as men, I think that we do that. We always go and try to get stuff when we're older that we wanted when we were younger. Like I always get like Jordans, the ones that I couldn't get.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
So with that, bro, so to answer you, yes and no. Okay. Because my room at 16 was very much how I wanted it. My mom was very accommodating. I had a blue, much like the light is, my room was that color, that blue. And I had all my action figures and all of that stuff.
Did you have stuff on the wall like posters?
I never hung posters, but I did have a picture wall. Okay. So remember, this is the time, this is 2003, 2004, you got to wind up and take pictures. So my mom would get them printed out. And I got like this brown tape, and I would tape the pictures to the wall. Stuff that I took pictures in high school. I'll actually show you some, but like pictures from high school, family. It was so dope. So now I got posters on the wall, you know, my DC stuff, Batman, Superman, Justice League, myself. You'll see it, man. It's fire.
You gonna have like some snacks in there? You gotta have like a mini fridge, bro.
I will. I think because the refrigerator's right upstairs.
Man, you want when you in there and you just chilling, you want to just be like,
that's not a bad idea.
Twixes.
You sold me. Twixes?
You have to get it.
Twix is already plural.
Twixi. You gotta get it. Dang it, I just had a great what were you just I had a great thought just now and I was about to say it and then it
we're
talking about the rooms.
Yeah, it's called CT Cellar now.
Okay. CT Cellar.
CT Cellar. Shout out to my guy Gorilla.
Are you gonna get a thing like put up for that?
CT Cellar. I should get like some wood as a sign to put on the door.
No, I was just thinking about like because like my room like when I was young, my room it was just messy. It wasn't really.
Oh, that's what. Yeah, go back to the kidnapping, bro. Okay, so hold on a second.
I was gonna be. I got kidnapped by a family member. It went left.
Listen, man. First of all, where's that family member now?
They're still out. They're still fine. They still chilling, living their life. I mean, it's cool. I mean, ain't no beef. You know.
Ain't no beef, and they kidnapped you.
It happens. It happened when I was a child. You know, you get over things. It's like, man, people be going through stuff. Hey, man.
That's got to be the greatest. This is a very dark joke. That's got to be the greatest. So dark. That's got to be the greatest and worst feeling in the world because you were chosen. They're like, oh, I want this kid. And then they were like, I don't want this kid.
It's like up the car. You crashed it.
Bro.
Yeah, man. But I'm telling you, it's so wild. The older that I get, I'm starting to understand like how our minds are, and like so a lot of times, and you know, okay, because and the thing that we're going to talk about last, you know, on the docket as well is going to tie into this because I think I have figured it out. But I think that when things happen to you when you're young, they still show up when you're grown. Yes. I think people think that they can outgrow trauma. No, nigga, it's still there. You just you know you got to be able to deal with it. And I've like even like. What we're going to talk about today on the show, it just really evoked like a lot of memories, and it's making me realize that memories are weird. Yeah. Did you know that your memories can change?
You can repaint a picture differently than how it happened.
Yes, and we're going to get into all of that stuff.
Give it to it, man. I don't want you to wait.
Okay, do you want to just get into that now?
Go into it, brother. You're passionate about that one.
Okay, so what happened was, and this, I want to tell you how this even came about to me even talking about this. Everybody knows about how I talk about how I got booed at Southern, right? It was just something that it's not nothing that I run away from, but as I'm learning in this industry, as we get bigger and bigger, we have, not only do we have, it's always weird me saying that we have fans. We call the people that rock with us the donation, Team CT. It's just always weird. But in growing in the industry, you're not only going to get people that work with you and rock with your material, but you're also going to get people that like critique it and like vlog pages, and it's just they'll run with whatever their view of you is. They kind of say it like it's the truth,
and they go with it like it's literally a fact.
Yeah, and I'm never I'm never above being critiqued. Like if you just say Doughboy's not funny or Doughboy, that's cool. But then when you start saying personal stuff, like I had somebody say that I'm a fake victim. They're like, Doughboy's such a fake victim. He just drums up all that. I'm like, do you know how hard it is to admit to the world that you're a recovering alcoholic and a bipolar person? Yeah, and polar.
Because you don't say about.
So do you know how difficult that is? So for a person to think that I'm drumming, it's just okay. But
I mean, I don't want you to ever cut your sentences off for your feelings, man. You got to get that out. That type of thing. When people discuss you, it's literally like, when I was in your comments, I went off in your comments, and I never do that because people will say things like it's a fact or that they have the authority.
Yeah, it's like you just throw yourself into, and then a lot of the people, like a lot of these like newer vlogs, and I'm not gonna say none of the names, especially the people that be hating, because why would I do that?
CT whining. I'll say this. I will say this, because I called you last night and we laughed about this. I say, bro, your fans let you get away with murder. Because that entire episode, if you go back and watch, you were the one who was sensitive about this.
Absolutely.
And I literally commented, it's like, what's CT whining about now?
That's what they got to be donation for. They got to rock with me even when.
Oh, I got something for that.
So
I went and told Team CT, I said, hey, the door is open.
It's green light.
It's green light. I've been too nice too long. Go ahead.
It was one of these cats, and they, because there's a lot of stuff going on, and so
vloggers.
Vloggers. So they get to saying stuff, whatever. So one of the vloggers, and he'll rename nameless because I'm not finna help you build your name, but he dug up the footage.
This guy must hate you.
Yo, when he talks about me, I'm like, what did I ever do? And then he'd be like, yo, I was a fan of this. I'm like, how are you a fan and now you hate me? What did I do to you? But he dug it up. Now, this is why I wanted...
50 Cent, you Ja Rule.
Exactly. Like, bro. So this is why I wanted to watch this with you. And I was going to have us watch the whole thing. But I'm like, no, it ain't that serious. So I actually have the footage of me getting booed. So I want to watch it with you. It's about a 1:30 clip.
Do you want to say how you remember it first and then do the video, or vice versa?
So let me tell you in my mind what I remember. Now, it's very important, and especially what I'm going to talk about after we watch the clip. It's very important to also understand the first time I did comedy, I got booed. I got booed when I was in high school. I was 14 years old, said a couple jokes. They didn't work. I got booed. So it was already something there that had me very afraid. And so then when this happened, I remember going out there, and it felt like I was up there for 2 hours. I was up there for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I get out there, and D-Lay had brought me out. Shout out to D-Lay. I was actually going to try to reach out to him and be like, what did you remember? But it was last minute. So D-Lay brings me up, and I remember going up there. And from what I remember about it before I watched it, I remember the first couple of jokes being okay, but then at some point I lost them. Like I said something, and then I lost them. I remember, because you can see this part, I could hear when I had said one of the jokes, right? And then I heard the first dude boo. He was like, boo!
Well, that was the first one.
Yeah, that was the first one. It was plenty boos. So when he said it, I was like, and I tried to walk it off. And then I started walking to the other side of the stage, and he was like, nigga, the joke ain't gonna be funny over there either. So I remember that, like, just stinging in my head. And then I remember my mouth. Like, he was always, and then they laughed at that, like,
that's just good time.
So, exactly. So
the joke ain't gonna be funny over there.
Bro, I remember it felt like a softball was in my throat. My mouth was dry. All I could see at the time is like I was sweating, and then I could see my dad. It was just weird. Like, and then I could see me being on stage in high school, and I could hear those. And so I remember with the boos, and I remember looking out, and I just remember just being like, and then I remember just rushing through whatever and then getting off stage. So that is what I remember, but that's not what happened. So I'll play like a minute half, because I only, and I'm going to post the whole thing on my page. So if y'all want to watch the whole performance, and I'm going to retire all those jokes too. So I'm going to put it there so y'all can watch it. But in the beginning of the set, I was doing really good. And then I got to a point where I lost them a little bit. And then I fought through the boos. And then I got to my closer, which was a Fat Drake song at the end. And then I killed him, took off the shirt, and then they clapped. I don't remember any of that. I don't remember fighting through it. I don't remember it being good at the end. I just remember getting booed, and I remember how everybody talked to me when I got backstage. Like the promoter and stuff, they were cool. I still got paid, so I was like, hey, it's cool. But I just remember kind of getting that look like, you just tanked. And I just remember feeling so hurt. And then I stopped, and I literally quit doing comedy after that. I was like, I'm going to focus on the writing. So here it is.
Hey, man, play the tape.
Play the tape. Let's pull it up.
So I said, not only is my daughter diabolical enough to kill Ken, but she's smart enough to pay a Mexican to dump the body. This is the bullshit.
I remember that joke.
That was a good joke. Y'all not finna fuck my confidence in that was. So back to these hoes. Hoes love cheese. They put cheese on everything. They make shrimp tacos.
There you go.
So let me tell y'all some fucked up shit that happened, but it changed my life at the same time. I had a chick come and talk to me. And like I said, much like the little skinny jean, this skinny jean backhanded compliment that I got.
They're still booing.
She looked at me, she was like, nigga, wait. Who the fuck do you look like? Nigga, you look like somebody, don't tell me. Wait, bitch, who the fuck does this nigga look like? Oh my God, bitch, I know. Nigga, you look like Drake if he let himself the fuck go. I said, really, what? Like if Drake just said, fuck a gym, that's what you would look like. I was like, damn, bitch, ouch. So I said to her, you know what? I'm gonna take lemons and turn it into lemonade. So I created a character and his name was Fat Drake. Say, do your thing, Fat Drake. He said, no. I don't think y'all fuck with me. So I was just, okay, the next nigga to boo. That's what we not gonna do. So, I came up with a character. Called Fat Drake. And he basically just sings about...
Pause. Okay, so...
This has hurt my feelings now.
Okay, so then I got through it, though. You can kill me off. I don't want to see myself on there. You can take me off of there. Yeah.
Is that the whole thing?
No, I got through it.
So, okay.
But I didn't want to play because I played the Drake song and we'll probably be able to not monetize the video. I fought through it, took off the shirt, they laughed. I don't remember any of that. So I looked it up, and this is why I want to tell this to you. Apparently, because I looked it up, I was like, am I tripping, or why did I remember this differently than it really happened? So I looked it up, right? And it said memory and trauma, right? They said, okay, hold on one second. They said memory is described by psychology as the ability, hold on, wait. That was the wrong thing. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Hold on. Physical. Hold on.
I'm holding.
Okay. All right. Got it.
Cool.
I've lost what I was looking for. But in any event, okay, here we go. Repressed memory. No, that's not the one. Okay. You say your part, and then I'll find this. You say your part, and then I'll
well,
say
I mean, you're not really listening.
Basically, what they're saying, is your mind can alter your memory.
You go ahead and talk it.
Oh, look at this. I know, nigga. You need to hear this shit.
You go ahead and talk it, and I'll say, like, nobody's going to listen to what I'm saying.
So this is the thing. Basically, what they were saying in the memories is that your mind can alter the memory if it was a traumatic memory. I may have PTSD from what happened on the stage. And it makes so much sense. But okay. But apparently your mind can do some things to your memory. And what are your thoughts on what you saw?
Well, man, so glad you asked me. First, let me say this, because I know how you're thinking. First, the thing that helped you create a different memory was well, let me just say this.
Okay.
Watching that, that was the most confident I've ever seen you on stage.
I was dying of
that doughboy.
I was dying.
Listen, if you were that, and we were just talking about this before the show started about confidence. If you were that doughboy on stage from then on out, you would be destroying. Here's what you also have to remember. That was you performing in front of a college.
4,000 people.
You will never hear a comedian say, man, I love doing in front of college kids, because college kids are there because you're in front of the future of what this this world is.
Right.
So I remember when I was in college that one year,
a glorious semester.
You're in that school and you're trying to make a name for yourself, right? So I would go to a comedy show because I wanted to be funnier than the comedian. So I wanted the people around me to hear. It's no different than going to a movie theater and the kids that are sitting together and they trying to be funny, heckling the movie, trying to make the theater laugh, not realizing they're annoying.
Right.
Because they're just like, I'm trying to get my time to shine, because they don't know how to get to shine before the internet came around anyway.
Right.
So when you're looking at that performance, I'm like, that's a super confident doughboy. Hearing everything that you said was hilarious. I'm going to tell you two things. One, where you messed up, and another thing as an audience member.
Okay.
I couldn't hear the boos until you said...
Really?
Listen, I couldn't hear the boos. I heard a ruckus crowd. I couldn't hear the boos until you said, what we not going to do is boo. And I was like, they're booing?
Was the boos.
Thank you for making me remember. You focused just like you focus on the negative all the time. So when we talk about comments, right? When we had this conversation and you like, yeah, man, I be seeing all the positive comments, but I see that one negative comment and it messed me up. And I said to you, I focus on, if I only get 5 positive comments, I'm focusing on them. I'm not giving the love to the other people. The problem was when I went to your page, somebody said something directly to me and I was like, oh, you got me fucked up, right? I had time. Right. But I'll never do that because you got to focus on the positive, right?
Right.
So that performance, super funny, super confident. The bit was funny. I'm going to tell you also where you lost them. You lost them. You asked too many questions. I've been telling you this since day one.
Let me tell you about that.
Go ahead.
Because I always hear your voice like a comedy sensei when I do things. Over that entire set, I probably asked the audience no less 15 to 18 times for approval. So that's what I'm saying. This is layered, bro. It's deeper. It's like, because if there is a dad complex I'm having on stage and I'm always looking for approval, that's
is this okay, guys?
That's why I'm asking them.
Is this cool with y'all? Am I doing good so far? Y'all want me to keep it? Like, you can't.
And it gets annoying. I did that in Vegas a couple of weeks ago, and that's why I lost them.
I'm telling, if you're noticing the same habits as a comedian, this is free comedy advice, everybody who's watching. As a comedian, and I'm going to give the Southern audience credit because college crowds are usually the worst because they too hype. They always want to make it about them, and they're not listening. They want to heckle. From what that clip, what you just showed us, they were tame. They were like, okay, cool. What you got for us? I'm ready to be cracked open. If I'm watching that and you're on stage, I can't wait to go next because I'm like, oh, they cool, right? So you're performing, and then the first thing you said, you're like, yeah, man. So, yeah. Hey, is this everybody say, do your thing. That call and response shit. Then you said, what we not gonna do is boo. And you said the whole thing with cheese. The line about the hoes love cheese. That offended some hoes, apparently.
I said some motion. I said hoes are helpful people. A lot of time they registered nurses or customer service assistants. Nigga, they just stop. I always lose crap. And the first time I did comedy, I said that about, I always lose the women.
You can't attack women.
I don't be trying to attack. I'm just like, y'all can get these jokes too.
Well, here's the thing. So this is another trick I'll tell you. And I use this on stage and I use this in life. Okay. And this never fails me. You can, from a standpoint of comedy, you build the crowd up to knock them down. All the greats do it, right? Okay. So if you're like, yeah, man, first of all, shout out to all the real women in here that you work, you get up, you go to work from 9 to 5, you come home, if you got kids, you taking care of them kids, you taking care of your man if you got one. I got nothing but love for y'all. Make some noise for yourselves. What I don't have love for is these hoes. Even how you just laughed. Then you say, I don't know what it is, but hoes love cheese. Everybody's like, what? You're like, yes, but what is it with cheese? They like nachos. They like shrimp scampi. They putting cheese and shit that don't even need cheese. Let me get some cereal. Just sprinkle a little feta in that, but you eating feta with golden grams, bitch? Like, you can say so many things. Shit. It's about how you build it up. The way you went into it came off a little misogynistic and woman hateful. So it's like these women who are in this crowd don't hear you making the separation between women and hoes. They hear you saying all women are hoes. That's how crowds think. Because you got to think, a crowd is a mob. Right. Mob mentality is why one guy can boo and everybody else boos, because they follow what happens in the crowd.
Damn.
So what you did,
breaking down game.
Listen, man.
You just fixed my joke, Dr. CT.
Listen, bro. That performance was so confident. It was so funny. But then you said, and I want you to see that difference. You said, what we're not going to do is boo. Now you're telling a crowd that's already not on your side what they going to do. So you just told them, y'all going to shut the fuck. And they were like, shh. Oh, we'll show you. Boo. And that's when I heard it.
It was, bro. And the wild shit about it is that I've played that over in my head a million times since it happened, but it never looked like what I saw. And so then it made me even ask. And the reason why I even said, like, do I have PT? And you tell me, like, do I have PTSD? You tell me if you think I have PTSD. If this sounds like the same thing. So this is what I'm saying. Post-traumatic stress disorder is a psychological disorder in the same category as reactive attachment disorder, caused by exposure to a terrifying event or ordeal involving the occurrence or threat of physical harm, or where a person learned these terrible events happen to a close family member or someone they care about, blah, 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 blah. I think I have PTSD from being booed 2 times in my life. Once at 14, and I never got over it, which is why I never did comedy again until I was 26. And then when I did it again, I did it. I never had no problems. I loved it. And then I quit again once I got booed again. I think I'm really more so afraid than most people are of getting booed. And I feel like it's something in my mind, especially because, like, for me to have lived it over a million times in my mind and then watch it, it's like, that was nothing like it really happened. It made me think, are there other areas in my life that maybe the memory changed from what it originally was to what I believe it to be now? I mean, do you have any areas in your life where you feel like, because I've noticed that when I talk to people, right? Like, I'll say me and you had, we have a bunch of memories, but let's just say we both have a memory about a night that we went to a comedy show. And then, like, I'll have this happen a lot. Like, we'll be talking about it and I'll be like, yeah, this and this happened and this, and then the other person will be like, no, that didn't happen. This and this and this and this happened. So I'm thinking, have I been doing this my whole life and just fucking up a bunch of memories and just You don't even gotta let me finish.
Yes. Let me take you back.
Am I doomed? Can I change?
Let me tell you the answer to your first question.
Okay.
Because you will compound some questions and I can't. So while I remember your first question, do you have PTSD from you getting booed? Right. No.
Okay.
Your PTSD does not come from you getting booed in high school. Your PTSD related with stand-up has to do with your father. Damn. You have father issues. It's the reason you keep asking a million questions. It's the reason you keep seeking approval. It's the reason that you keep thinking you're going to fail on stage, because you keep having this thing that you think that you need your father's validation for you to succeed and to be funny. I've seen you be extremely hilarious on stage before without asking a million questions, and not once did you buckle because you were thinking about your father. So in actuality, what you need to do is either A, call your dad and have a conversation with him, tell him how you feel, or B, say, hey, fuck you.
One of those two things, I think one of those two things have to happen, because I feel like it's bleeding into my regular life. And I never saw it like that. And I like, when I post the whole video, I want you to watch, because the crazy shit is, you're right. The whole set was good. I had parts where I was getting like applause breaks,
you were
big
confident,
laughs, but all I ever
and you let them make you quit, bro. Listen, man.
See, that's what I feel like I be dealing with. I feel like people be saying so much fucked up shit to me, it be making me want to quit. So I feel like I'm reliving the same loop in different areas in my life. I didn't mean to put you on the therapist couch. I'm sorry.
I mean, I'm always here. I moved in.
But I'm figuring it out, though.
Do you realize that the purpose of someone trolling, first of all, trolls don't even like to be called trolls, because they start their comment up with, I'm not trolling, but, or they'll say, I'm just saying. Like,
I'm not
that's
being disrespectful, but fuck your father. Like,
that's the first thing. Right. So what you have to realize is, people that heavily critique you can't do what you do. And that's in any aspect of life.
Right.
If somebody's like, oh man, see what Kobe should have done, what LeBron should have did, what Jordan could have, they could never lace their shoes, right? So when you're talking about these vloggers, when you're talking about these people who are in the comments, you're talking about these audience members who are saying these things that truly get to you. This is what they want.
They win.
They
win because we're talking about them right now.
So that's what I'm saying. Somebody wants you to, no, I'll have no problem talking about them, but you got to understand the difference between talking about them and letting them affect your life. So this is why I preach the thing about, yo, bro, focus on the positive people who love you. Just like I was in the comments who said something ridiculous, I also responded to the people who said something super dope and positive, because these people deserve the attention compared to the people who don't. So these people who are trolling you, they got what they wanted. If I'm working at McDonald's, first of all, it's probably an amazing place to work. I worked there as a teenager. Right. But if I'm working, let's not even say McDonald's, that's a delicious place. I worked
at Boston Market and got fired for calling a white person the N-word. I thought I was trying to bond with him. I was like, oh, my nigga. He went and told the supervisor.
He told the supervisor?
I was like, hey, what's up, my nigga? He was like, oh, what's up, bro? He went and told him.
First of all, I call all of them niggas. Here's the funny thing that people don't know.
We get mad if they call this nigga up.
When we talking to each other in our community, we be like, yeah, Mike. You be like, who's Mike? The white nigga that I was talking about. Who's Philip? The Asian nigga. I told you about all these niggas. I'll call Tangerine nigga. I'm like, come on, nigga. And she's like, don't call me. I'm like, everybody can get it. So these people,
the Asian
niggas who work at so these people want you to quit. If I'm working if I don't even say working, if I don't like my life, or if I see you doing something that I don't have enough courage to do, I'm gonna say, you shouldn't do this, or you need to do this, or you need to. I'm just saying, these people want you to quit so they can feel validated. Because if you quit and you give up, I feel like,
even though it does nothing for them, but they did something to make you. And
so you quitting, bro, you're giving them not only what they want, but you're doing yourself a disservice, because if you're the type of person to quit when things get tough, do you truly deserve your gifts?
Say it one more time, CT.
If you're the type of person who quits when it gets tough, do you truly deserve your gifts? We all get knocked down. I've been knocked down 1 million times. Probably gonna get knocked down 10 more million times. But I'm gonna get up. And when I get up, you can bet your ass it's not gonna be because somebody helped me up. It's because I'm like, I gotta get up.
And I want to ask you this, and then we can move on to our next thing. But how do you stay in that? Because I want to give you your flowers. You know what I'm saying? You're a very positive dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know, I was going through some stuff this week. I call you for wise counsel because I value the things that you say. But above and all, you know, even above that, like once I call you, this is why I value you as a friend. Because once I call you on something, you'll keep your eyes on it after the conversation. I appreciate that about you. So you called me today, checked me. You said, hey, Doe, I see you doing some things that ain't positive. Take that down.
That was so messy.
And let me let you know. Let me let you know how much respect I got for you. Because nigga, I'm 41, I'm in these streets. You understand me? Wish a nigga would call me and tell me anything. But the fact of of how you said, like, Doe, come on, bro, take that down. Like, you literally
respectfully
called and said, Doe, take that down. And I didn't even let you finish the sentence. I said, you right. And I'm glad that I got you in my life, but I got to ask you, how do you stay positive? Because I don't see you in the fuck shit of this industry. I don't see you looped into it. How do you stay so positive and far away from negativity and BS?
Brother, first of all, I mind my business. I know that sounds so surfacey,
right?
But bro, if you can see the epitome of me minding my business, it's so freeing. None of this stuff bothers me, bro.
Right.
I am free. I will watch. First of all, I want you to understand. Although I mind my business, I see it all.
Right.
I see the stuff that happens. I see the stuff that people are gossiping about or having issues with. I mind my business because nobody said my name. Nothing's had anything to do with me.
But what would you do if your name was getting tossed around? You still stay silent on things?
In a way, it depends on what is happening, right? So, perfect example.
Okay.
Let's say, give me something in the news that's happened that I could give you an example on.
The Lakers just got put out the playoffs in the first round.
Okay, cool. So everybody's talking about LeBron.
Okay.
If I'm LeBron, I'm being attacked by this finite group of people. To us, it looks like the world is attacking him. But to him, he might be being showered with so much love from all of his other enterprises, and he might not even be on social media after this game because he knows what people are going to do. So it's like, let me go ahead to Italy and still spend these millions instead of focusing on what this guy who works at the grocery store is saying about how I should have done this or how I suck. Let me go take my rings and take a look at them and sit down. So
just unplug sometimes.
Sometimes you unplug. So to answer that, for me, it's if I'm being mentioned by somebody who has my number, well, first, I'm not going on social media.
No.
I'm going to, if I have a problem with Doughboy, if I have a problem with person X, Y, or Z, and they've done something to say my name on something, I'm calling you. If I don't call you, and this is where the real nigga in me comes in, because comedians know how to find each other.
Come on, man.
If you don't think I know where every comedian lives that I deal with, even if you're in another city, I know how to get to you, bro.
Right.
Just like you know how to get to me. It's not that hard.
Right.
So as a man, you will never say anything crazy to me because I know where you live. We're going to have a conversation, whether it be on the phone, whether it be face to face, and we're going to handle it how we handle it.
See, let me, and I don't mean to cut you, keep your thought of what you're saying. I don't want you to lose that. But that's the thing, though. I think that's because you're OG in the game. You damn near got, 20 years in this bitch. You know what I'm saying? So you know that. I think a lot of people in this game don't look at it like that, and they don't fear consequences, and they don't fear bumping into people. So maybe that's a reason why some of the recklessness goes on out here, because people don't really be like, because it's just like when you're trolling somebody online. It's easy to type the toughest shit if you don't feel like you're going to bump into the nigga you typing it about. But in the end of the day, especially in the industry, especially with everything opening back up, no, people are gonna start bumping into each other. So I guess
I'd be more afraid when things weren't opened up.
To bumping into people.
Well, not that, but people can find you, bro. This is the internet. People know how to get to you. Listen, man. You keep thinking these people in the comments don't have access to people, man. I've seen people in the comments put somebody's address up, and I've known that person be like, you know what I'm saying?
The right address.
Or they'd be like, yo, I know blah, 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 or whatever.
Right.
So if I was in that circumstance, would be more afraid during the pandemic because nobody's outside and they can get to you easier.
Right.
Outside, people are around, there are witnesses. Right. You know what I'm saying? But in the circumstance of dealing with people, I mind my business. I try my best to respect people that respect me. If somebody says something disrespectful, I'm gonna say something disrespectful back.
Right.
But if it's an we know how to find each other.
Right.
No comedian that I know wouldn't call me first. I don't do that social media shit where we're talking all this trash in the comments. You have my number. If you have an issue with me, we will talk on the phone. If you don't want to talk on the phone, we can see each other in person. That's not saying let's fight in person. I'm a grown man. I'm not about, come on, man. Yeah. I'm saying if we see each other in person, we can have a straight up conversation. And every issue that I've had with another man in the past 10 years, I could even say, because that's, where you could say out here in LA, I've had conversations with men face to face, or we talk on the phone, and nobody's ever known about it on social media. Right. So I think it's just about how you address things or how you handle things as a person.
But
because
you just always seem to be happy. I guess that's the thing. I'm like, how do I tap into some of that CT happy? Because you seem highly imbalanced. So would you say that that's the biggest thing that you'd go for, is just minding your business and shit like you did today? Like, hey, like how you police me today, is that how you'll police yourself? Because I'm pretty sure, you're a human, you're living, so pretty sure sometimes you be like, man, fuck these niggas. But so you just, for the most part, stay to yourself, mind your business, and then just stay off the internet with the fuck shit.
Bro, I have a wife.
Right.
So my lady. A fiance? No, you don't. So with Tangerine, things that upset me, I'll have a conversation with her about it, and she'll literally be like, well, think about it like this, or how do you think about it? And it's like, oh, I never thought about it like that. And it's like, I'll immediately calm down. Or you just start taking stock in your life where you like, okay, I'm angry about this today, but let me weigh the thing that I'm angry about compared to everything that I have to be grateful for. Right, so it's like what you're talking about
so
is
do the math sometimes.
Yeah,
like,
but
I am mad, but there's grateful.
You're talking about the people who you're letting affect you,
right?
And when you let one person affect you, you'll let other people affect you. When you show somebody what a trigger is for you, they'll keep using it. That's why I told you, I'm like, and we laugh about this often when we had the conversation about calm down, because it's like, you're my friend. Right. When you say, hey man, calm down, I'm pissed. But if our engineer was like, hey CT, calm down, I'm like, exactly. You know what I mean? It has no effect on me.
Exactly.
So you have to stop, one, letting people know your triggers.
Right.
Two, you gotta just really enjoy your life, man, because if you keep letting people dictate your feelings based on how they feel, you'll be miserable.
And they live rent-free in your head.
Yeah, man. We got into an argument one time. No, we didn't get to an argument. You told me about an argument you got into.
We had a pretty good week this week.
Yeah, I called you every time. Today. Well, I told you when I picked you up, I said, don't talk to me. I'm enjoying my music.
And I was scared for my life the whole ride anyway, so I was cool. It was easy to stay silent.
Want to talk.
I was afraid.
Oh, but it's like, you have these people that literally just want to get into your head. And I'm like, hey man, if you're mad at this person, they call it beating yourself up for a reason. Like if you're beating yourself up, if you knock yourself in the face right now because you're mad at me, you the one gonna have a bruise. I'm cool.
Exactly.
You're gonna wake up tomorrow angry. I'm eating Cheerios.
Exactly. You're right. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna take a page out of that book. And before
I would never eat Cheerios.
I wanna
I'm a cornflakes.
You're a cornflakes nigga?
I like Frosted Flakes.
This I just remembered the thought of what I was thinking about earlier, and I wanted to talk about when you were talking about the camera.
Yeah.
How spoiled are motherfuckers today with camera phones? Do you know that we are old enough to have? You got to take the picture and you had to wait a couple of weeks to find out if you made it, if you had a fucked up picture.
Did it come out right?
And then you had to go and look through it and get the negatives and and if it was a bad picture, it was just a bad picture.
That's not the one.
And now you could just go through the phone. Technology is changing the world.
You could delete pictures. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you who mad.
And make you look better on the pictures.
Let me tell you who mad.
Who?
The guy that work at Kodak. That's waiting to print the pictures up. Man, ain't nobody been in here in months.
And the fucked up thing is he had just patented a new film. This gonna be that blue film. Niggas ain't gonna be able to fuck with this at all.
Wait till they come in. I'm gonna be like, come back in an hour.
We'll see you there. So no, this is what I want to talk to you about because I know you got some strong thoughts on this.
Okay.
Because this sounds like some sucker
shit.
Sorry.
Can we open the door? I feel like it's closed. Like nobody's up here with us. Let's just get this breeze going. Go ahead, bro.
Okay. So we had a bunch of stories on here, but I'm going to talk about this one for sure. James Harden.
Yeah.
Basketball player.
Yes.
Makes millions of dollars.
Okay.
Really good basketball player. I know you're not a super sports nigga, but he's really good. He's probably top 5 players in the league.
Okay.
Super long beard.
Yeah, I know exactly. I've seen his commercials.
Yeah, so he's the guy. So apparently it went viral that he asked for a date with Saweetie. You know who Saweetie is?
Yes, that's Quavo's ex-girlfriend. We've discussed her on the show before.
Right. And not
damn shame what happened to that car.
You understand? So this speaks to that. So it's not that James Harden just asked her for a date.
Yeah.
It's not that she just said yes or no.
Yeah.
Apparently, the rumor was going, and he's since denied it, but this came out, so I think there is a little bit of truth to it. They're saying that he Cash Apped her 100 racks to go on a date with him.
Can't send that much money on Cash App.
Huh?
Can't send that much money on Cash App.
Really?
I don't even think people who are spreading this rumor have attempted to send that much. First of all, also, if I
how you know?
Let me just say this, man.
You just paid your taxes, man. You just trying to pay.
All right, man. Subscribe to everything, please.
So you just shut that shit down quick. There's no way he can
send that much on Cash App. Listen, man.
Okay.
People who have access to people have people to do these things for them.
So if he wanted to get over 100,000, it wouldn't be.
First of all, if he wanted to have a date with her, it would not be publicly known. Okay. Do you know how people who have access to things move? Okay. It's the same reason you think that certain celebrities have never dealt with other celebrities is because it's private.
Right.
I will be like, hey, I have person A to go make this move for me if I am of that stature or status.
So outside of confirming if it's true or not, so there's no way we can read it. But let's just say, because for argument's
sake, it's not Venmo. If it was Venmo, maybe.
So let's just say
it's public on Venmo.
Let's just say electronic transfers aside. Let's just say, is there anything, if he sent her 100,000,
maybe you could send 99
to go on a date, is he a sucker for that? Because I know you be going hard on these suckers.
Simps. I am not a fan of the simps. Because I expect more. Move? Because I've been a simp and I went through that, so hopefully you don't have to go through that.
I see what you did.
I feel like this, man. What did you say?
Clay Z. You know, because that was a Jay-Z bar.
Don't ever say that
Clay
again.
Z.
Please, bro. Now you're going to have a fucking comment saying it's bullshit.
Z. No, you just said it, Jay-Z.
Jesus Christ.
You went through that, so hopefully you
How about CTZ?
Nah, man.
Jesus Christ.
Clay Z, Jay-Z.
No, I literally.
You never would go by the Clay Z?
I don't like that.
Team Donation, Team CT, let us know if the new
don't
nickname
let
alert
us,
can go for Clay Z. Because I like it. But anyway, back to what you said.
I don't like to be called Clay.
You don't like? Oh, you don't like Clay at all?
No.
Well, that's like hit a nerve.
Not a nerve.
Okay, you just don't like it.
Yeah, it's just.
I don't like people to call me Ant.
Donation. Team CT. Why don't you let me feel about the name Ant? Like, come on, bro.
All right, so you don't like Clay Z.
But cool. Now the comments are about to be full of, oh my God, you just ruined my week. This is a perfect episode. Now I'm not even reading comments. That's the solution. Cool.
So okay, but is it a sucker move? Because 100,000 for James Harden is like $20 for us. So is he a sucker for sending a girl $20 to say, hey, I want to go on a date with you?
It's $20 for you. Okay, so when I said
we're in the same time.
But you know what? I'll say this, bro. I feel like if it's true.
If it's true. That's just for argument's sake, and we're not saying that it is. But if it is.
If it's true, number one, none of my business.
Okay. But if it was some of your business, what if I sent a woman $100,000?
Still none of my business.
But I'm your friend.
If you took money from my account to help make this happen, then it's my business.
What if I called you and say, hey, CT, I'm really feeling this young lady. I just sent her 100 racks. What are your thoughts? Now tell me what you're
I'm going to think, what do you think you're going to do for date number 2?
How do you top that?
You can't top 100
Buy
grand.
a house?
Unless you're going to send her 101 grand the next time.
But do you think that men send women money like to go on... Quick answer is no. That's funny. Yes. So there are niggas that are sending women money before they go on a date.
Bro,
why?
Because, man, it's just like I went live the other week and I said there are men who are simps. And then there are men, like the simps are the guys that say stuff like, hey, good morning, beautiful. Ooh, I would love to be in that room with you. Ooh, I can't wait to see this. Like, that's simpy.
Well,
then you got the guys.
Sounds like positive affirmations. Women love that.
It's positive if she responds to it with the same energy. Okay. If you've sent 2 messages and she's hard-eyed anything, cool. Mm-hmm. If she just sends a heart on something and didn't respond, so she's trying to be nice.
So you're saying niggas be saying nice shit just to
waste their time.
To shield their thirst.
No. I'm not saying that. That's a completely different statement. Okay. I'm saying the guys who are thirsty towards a woman and they're not getting the same energy back or even acknowledged.
Got it.
Like the woman is leaving them on scene or she's not responding at all.
Got it.
As far as like, oh, I'm not accepting that message or whatever.
Okay.
Then there are the men who lead with the bread. Like, oh, I want her, hey, how much is your rent? Oh, it's why you asking me that? Because they about to go get that bread, and that's a different conversation.
We're not just gonna scooch past that. You're telling me niggas, are calling women and getting ready to go on dates and saying, leading with, how much is your rent?
Yes. I didn't even say anything about a date. I'm talking about what they would say just to get the girl. It's not even about kick it, bro.
Just hey.
If you have it, you can do it.
Well, how does that make it fair for the average guy that works a regular job that can't send that?
Who said smashing a bad bitch was fair? Let me tell you something. Do you think... Let me choose my words carefully. Let me say this very carefully. When I worked at McDonald's at 16, and I see a guy come through the drive-thru and he's riding the brand new Escalade truck and he might be a year or 2 older than me and he's got a bad check at the passenger side and I'm asking him, you want ketchup? No, it's not fair because I'm this good guy who's trying to get with this girl, but he's the guy with the bread. He's the guy that maybe she's attracted to. So who says that anything is fair in love and war?
Because how if you're growing up and you're trying to one day date a woman.
That made me want to get money.
That's the same reason why I became talented, because I thought I couldn't get a woman without having money.
You didn't become talented. You were already talented. It's the reason you started using your talents. But go ahead.
Okay, but so I digress. So, but why is it that I feel like it's even ingratiated in pop culture? You have women
nice word choice.
Thank you. You have women like a Cardi B who would say, "Broke boys don't deserve no pussy." You know, that's right. Mm-hmm. That's very catchy and melodic, and that can start to ring. And then you hear a song like with Chris Brown, like "When a rich nigga want you," and wait, we said when a rich nigga want you, and your nigga can't do nothing for you, like. What is that? So the guy that is your nigga that is working a hard job, maybe making $45K a year, which is great money. You don't even listen or pay attention to that guy because he ain't got it, because it's always a nigga that could just pull up and say, "Oh, what's up with the rent?" How is it ever going to be fair for the everyman?
This is how it's fair for the everyman. If you got that elephant trunk and you got that mouthpiece, you can talk your way in anything. Hey man, let me tell you something. Before any type of blessings,
right.
I have never had a problem speaking a young lady's language respectfully.
So you're saying to me, and this is just a fascinating conversation, because growing up, was overweight, you know what I'm saying? I thought I had a small dick. In my mind, I did. And, I go about, later, whatever. Okay, whatever. Happens. So if you're growing up, you're a fat kid. You feel like I don't have the biggest dick in the world and the biggest elephant trunk in the world. I'm sorry.
You can say anything else other than the D word.
Biggest elephant trunk in the world, right? So I don't have that. And then by nature is not there's nothing you can do to get. You just get what you get and you don't throw a fit. You get what you get. You don't throw a fit. That's just that. So you can't. There's nothing you can do to affect this size. So then if you're thinking, okay, I don't have that going for me. I ain't got a bunch of money. So as far as beautiful women, they're just out of the question for me because my personality and me being a good man is not enough. That's what I feel like young men get taught. And then that's why niggas grow up valuing money so much more because you're taught at and we just went back to things that happen when you're a kid. So if as a kid you think, hey, I don't have a big elephant trunk, and I don't have money. I'm not going to get a woman, so I can't do nothing about the elephant trunk, so I better get money. And then you just focus on getting the money. Now you're not really learning on how to treat a woman, talk to a woman, because you're so focused on money.
That's a different thing. Because you can't say a person with money doesn't know how to treat women.
I got you. Okay, but what I'm saying is, in growing up, if you think that you don't have these things, because that's why I always get so passionate about this, because I'm not so worried about myself. I'm 41. I figured it out.
You have
I'm
a small penis. You don't have money.
I don't have a small penis. That's okay. I want to be very clear. I don't have a small penis.
You be going hard, hella pause about the smaller member conversation.
But this is the thing that I want to tell you. Growing up, because I only dated black women, I had a complex.
Great
and once
woman
I got older, I was like, I'd be like, so they'd be like, no, you're good. Like, and so, but it really threw me. Okay, that's a whole nother conversation. But as far as how do you come up and you're trying to get a beautiful woman and get the type of woman, and then you always feeling like if you don't have money, you can't get it. I feel like that is really messed up.
Well, you also have to remember that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. One woman who's beautiful to somebody, just much like a man who's attractive to certain women isn't attractive to all women.
Okay.
As in such, every woman who is incredibly gorgeous to one man isn't the type of woman that another guy will go for.
Right.
Who's to say that this guy who, like you said, will make $45,000 a year would see a woman.
Which is great money. I don't want to make that sound like I was shitting on it.
I never said that. But I think that guy might have a taste for a different woman. Maybe he likes a girl who's a plain Jane that's super quiet, or she's not a chick who's into materialistic things. Or maybe he does want the girl who has money, and maybe she is attracted to him because of who he is in general. And then that's the thing that breaks the barrier.
Perfect example. The dude that happened, the couple happened like a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago. You heard about the situation with Drake, right?
No.
So it was a guy, he was engaged
to
this woman for 8 years.
Yeah.
8 years, had totally supported her singing career. They got an opportunity
Such a nice guy.
for her to meet Drake, and you know, Drake pulled up and left with his and then she left her nigga for 8 years. Why? It's so unfair.
Because it's Drake.
Do you understand the maniacal mind state that we go through as people? Like,
she's a survivor, if you're looking at my eyes.
How is she a survivor, CT?
Listen, brother, you just said it.
She was with a nigga for, could you imagine being with your beautiful wife for all this time, and then a guy bigger than you, with more money than you, more success than you, she's like, CT, you cool, but this guy, I'm out of here. That wouldn't break your heart?
No. First of all, let me tell you. If Tangerine didn't leave me when I was beyond dirt poor, for her to wait until I started getting things moving to leave,
this is a bad decision maker.
I wouldn't be hurt. I'm like, okay, enjoy yourself. You know what I'm saying? But for this guy, this is why I'm saying she's a survivor. Okay. The young lady who left him for Drake.
Right.
You're painting this picture as if she was also in love. You're saying the thing that
she was engaged and they're about to get married.
Does that constitute love? Or does that
what else would constitute love, CTZ?
Her not leaving her man for any reason constitutes love. But her being in this relationship with this guy for 8 years, and like you said, he supported her.
Right.
It wasn't as if she couldn't support herself or was like, oh, let me go get a job and contribute. She found a guy that paid all of her bills for 8 years while she pursued her dream. And then she met Drake, another guy who could pay and fund her dreams, and she leaves the first cash cow for the second one. Let me tell you something, man. I'm never going to see this eye to eye with you because I'm always looking in the woman's favor in a situation where love is not equal. I'm always for the fellas, hella pause, if the brother and his lady are in love. But if that's why I'm saying love can't be one-sided.
We can take this closer to home because me and you had a conversation about a person that we know. You know what I'm talking about.
person that we know.
You know who I'm talking about? And they were dating somebody that was with them for all the time when they went. And you said you ran into the guy not too long. Yes, so that situation.
Yeah.
Situation.
And he played himself.
Guy dating a woman.
Yeah.
And I remember.
We'll tell y'all.
I remember.
I'm not going to say the name.
Of course not.
But there's this actress, and she was with this guy, and he funded her dreams.
Everything.
And he did everything for her. Everything for her. And she got an opportunity.
Jesus.
And she was like, hey, man. Go on here, get up out of here.
Wait, she did what?
Go ahead, get up out of here.
Get up out of here, toots.
Go ahead, hit the road,
and
Jack.
You seen the individual.
And his life.
And what did he say when you saw him?
His life went downhill continuously. What did he say when I saw him?
When you saw him?
First of all, I saw him for the course of 2 years, 4 times. And each time he was worse and worse.
Because I noted it.
The first time, he was yoked up. The second time, he was lean. The third time, I was like, is he on drugs? And the fourth time.
He looked like the machinist.
I was like, hey, you doing a movie with Fox? Man, you are.
But that is wrong. Because that was a good dude.
Great dude.
Good dude. And I'm not, no shade to Shorty.
No.
But that happens
She's
so much.
goal-oriented to where, okay, there are people that you will see in this life, in this city especially, that come out here for one thing and life happens and they're like, oh, this is my new life now. And, oh yeah, I used to have dreams of being a singer. I used to have dreams of being an actor. I used to have dreams of whatever. And now their life, right. And they're happy and that's fine. And then you have the people who came out here with a dream and a goal and a vision and nothing will get in the way of that. And they don't care who they hurt.
But listen, this is the messed up part.
And that's who she is.
The messed up part about that situation.
Yeah.
They was both driven. He was pushing her to success. Yeah. I remember
and it worked.
Saying everything like, do this.
It worked.
And she been fighting and she like, oh, okay, I'll do. And then she did like, all right, but you get the hell out. I think that's enough.
You know what you just said?
To scare the hell out of every young man coming up.
No, it's not. Only the weak do that.
It scares me and I'm 41.
That's unfortunate. What he did, you said it. He pushed her to success.
Right.
Not within that, did he also push himself? Similar to this scenario that you're giving with the guy who did this thing for 8 years for his lady and then she left him for Drake. Now, it's easy to make this guy the victim. We don't know what their relationship was like. We don't know
But it's not that she even left him for Drake. Like Drake is now like, oh, this is my lady. Like, no, you kicked it with Drake. You left just to kick it with Drake.
Hey, man. Sometimes you get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow.
Opportunity
comes once in a lifetime. You better lose yourself.
This has been another great. And I can talk about this for hours because I'm passionate about it.
No, we're not done. You are on the side of the guy of 8 years, and you know why? Because you've been him. Do you realize how this goes back? And no, I've never been him. This is how you goes back to the full circle trauma that you were talking about.
Okay.
You said of how you felt with me driving because you weren't in the driver's seat. You were in the passenger seat. You had no control. You were kidnapped, given back, that whole thing. Then we go into comedy. You're scared to not ask questions because you need to be you need the reassurance from the audience, which realistically you need the reassurance from your father. Then it goes to this situation with the girl, Drake, and her man, where you've been the guy who's funded a girl's dreams and hoped that she loved you as much as you loved her and she didn't. Now your heart's been broken. I've never been there because I have never funded anybody's dreams. I've always had my dreams funded.
But do you understand how it could be a scary premise for young men out there? Because it's like, that's what they teach you to do. You're supposed to take care of your woman. You're supposed to follow her dreams and help her make her. So if you're supposed to be being a good man and you don't have the elephant trunk and you don't have a ton of money, but what you do have is you can push somebody to greatness. You can get behind everything that they do. You can work. That's what they teach you to do to be a good man. But even in doing that, she can leave you for another nigga that's better off than you and better at life than you.
So why are you only taking a stance of the side of a man getting left when we see that happen to women all the time?
Because I'm scared.
That makes no sense of the answer to my question.
I'm afraid that could possibly, I think that it was a fear that I was having as a kid and it manifested itself when I grow older. So now even when I find myself in relationships, you know, shout out to Tony, it's like sometimes I have this this fear that I don't deserve it because of things that we're talking about now. I'm like, how did I even get a dope woman? How did this even? I'm gonna lose it, ain't I?
Well, if that's how you think,
and then you have that's when you do the self-sabotaging shit.
Yeah,
I'm just telling you that it's all connected. It's like if whatever you believe is gonna predicate the way you move, the way that you act. So if you think that it's gonna end up messed up in the end, you might, as a form of control, taking it back to being in the car. I can't control the car. Okay, well I can control. I can just crash it into a wall and mess it up. At least that makes me feel like I have control of it. So I just feel like all these things are connected.
A lot of things you don't really need this control of. It's like I've seen far more stories in where the woman has taken care of her man and the guy leaves her for a white girl or leaves her
it's just human
for somebody
nature.
else.
It's not even gender specific.
It's not gender specific. But for what you're saying is you're afraid because you have this feeling of not being good enough to deserve good things. Right. I had a moment before I moved where I was like, I'm talking about before we even got into the whole particulars of leaving. I was like, I deserve a better place. And in that thinking, I thought back to the times where I had talked myself out of blessings or been like, oh, I'm not good enough to get this or I'm not good enough to get that. And then I would see people and I'd be like, they're not good enough to get that. But you know the difference? They believed that they were, and that's how they got there. So for you, when it comes to your relationships, when it comes to your career, you have to know that you deserve the best. You have to deserve that because that's what you will attract. If you keep saying, if you keep giving self-doubt and you keep saying how you don't deserve and won't get this type of girl or make this type of money, you won't because you've made that decision. I remember talking to comedian Blackberry in Detroit when I was 19. I had a moment of doubt. And he used to always big up me. He was like, yo, CT, you gonna be the guy, man. You gonna have money, man. You gonna be on TV. You be doing movies. You be doing a whole nine. And then I was like, but what if I don't, man? Like, what if I'm not good enough? And he was like, then you never will. And he said it so matter of fact. I was like, that's real. And from that moment on, you couldn't tell me I wasn't the best. You still can't. Because if I don't believe it, why would somebody else believe it?
And they say that too. That's actually like an old philosophy that the man that believes he can and the man that believes he cannot are both correct. Damn,
so
man.
It's like for you, man.
We're getting gems in this episode.
I'm shouting out. We got to give gems every episode, but they won't quote them in the comments. Man, that freestyle,
that bars,
which it was. I also love how you switch the flow.
Oh yeah,
but it's like, yeah, man. Hey, no one with that yellow shirt.
You want to switch it up a little bit?
Did you hear any of the episode? So you're talking about this young lady and you're reacting to it because you've been this guy.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at the situation and for what your thought about what about the men growing up? Listen, man, either you got it or you don't. Nothing is going to get you a great girl unless you're dope on some level. Unless you dope with the money, you dope with the charisma, you dope with the trunk, you dope with the personality.
You got to find one dope and then just supplement the rest with whatever. You got to be at least dope in something, though.
Sometimes people just gravitate towards energy, bro. I didn't have any money for any of the girls that I dated, but what you're saying with women, I've never not had an amazing woman. Because I knew that I deserved amazing women.
Never seen you with no trash ladies. I ain't gonna hold you.
You shan't.
I've never raised an eyebrow. This has been another episode, the 20th. We are only 80. We're only 80 away from 100.
Well, I mean, when you say it like that, jeez Louise.
But we're only one more away from my favorite number in the world, 21.
21 is your favorite number?
My birthday is August 21st, sir.
What are you gonna do for your birthday? Oh, you said it.
2 plus 1 is 3. The number of completion. I'm a numbers guy. God. I always see 1111. I see 444 all the time. I see 555. Numbers are important. And my favorite number outside of 21 is 26. And 26 is a pretty dope number too.
Why?
It's like, it's about money and manifestation. And it was weird because Kiara's birthday is on the 26th.
Of what?
Of September.
Oh, okay.
And so that's the thing. So she's the 26th. And then I started dating Tony when she was 26. And then I also moved to LA when I was 26. So I also thought
isn't Tony only 27?
Yeah, she's about to be 28.
Okay, cool. I'm like, what?
Yeah. So, but that's the thing, though. So I started dating her.
When she be mentioning that. 27.
Don't you do it like that? But now I'm like, the 26 thing means something to me because 26 is when I started doing comedy and it's when Kiara was born. I was 26 when Kiara was born.
Wow.
So like 26 number.
That's a good one.
Numbers are dope, man. So pay attention to those numbers.
That's so interesting that you say all of those things. That actually makes sense.
Can I tell you one thing before we go?
Go ahead, man.
You see him look, he was like, yes,
he
one
chilling,
more
man.
No, what I want to say is, I really appreciate.
Doughboy's the one who's been in and everything. You ain't throwing the hand up at all. We kicking it. Doughboy is like, all right, well, let's go ahead and get about it. Go ahead.
But no, I really appreciate the creative license that we have on this show is because, for one, it's a comedic podcast. People want to come here for laughs and stuff, and that's always good. I'm always here for it. But a lot of the times that we're talking, I'm talking myself through real situations. So when we're having fleshed out conversations, I just want to say thank you for, creating this environment where we can have dope conversations and we're going to laugh and we're going to get into the funny stuff. But then it's also like, I really believe in like, I'm going to apply this to my regular life, and I just hope that other people at home when they watch this can get that too, because I feel like we really dropping some real shit.
Man, I'm glad that
we can. I don't always feel that pressure to be like, oh, I gotta say something funny.
No, because today's
chocolate chip cookies.
You were serious. It was like, yeah, and then the waterfall. Yeah. But listen, so when I bombed, right? What do you think?
It's a deeper meaning, brother.
So I want names about who kidnapped you when we get off this air.
I'll tell you the whole story because I'm riding home with you.
Because I'm like, man, I can eat something.
All right, man.
I want some eggs.
Moon's over my hammy.
I don't want ham. Ham just make you feel like I'm not working out.
Now I gotta look at you with the side eye. What you mean you don't want ham?
I mean, at this moment, I don't want ham.
I never turned down ham, only in sandwich form.
Okay,
but
so you don't like
shank? No.
A ham shank?
Ham shank.
What is a ham shank?
It's like just a slice of ham. They do it at Denny's, the lumberjack slam.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Oh, yeah.
That's too much ham. I'm like, can we get bacon?
You can never have too much ham or bacon.
Well, bacon is a different story, but ham.
I bathe in bacon. If they had a bacon flavored bubblegum, I'd chew it. Bacon is lit. Bacon, you know how. I made a documentary
about bacon.
That made you be friends with me. You're like, this guy's really into bacon.
No, that wasn't what made me be friends with you. It made me be like, wow, other people other than BT are really talented up here.
Damn.
Because nobody was doing anything that was like outside of stand-up. Everybody was just like really funny on stage. And I was like, I want to do other stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I was up there and you were like, hey, we're doing a sketch.
The wild shit, well, I mean, I've been cutting you off a lot. I got to work on it.
You've been doing it for 20 episodes.
Sorry. But no, like but you inspired me to even get into sketch because I came up, the misadventures of side note.
Yeah, man, appreciate
I think you got to bring those back, like the throwback episodes. Bring those back for your audience. Just bring them back just because I'm asking you to and we're friends. People got it. The one about your cousin.
Oh yeah,
bro,
that was the first sketch I ever shot.
Classic joints, bro. I think you could do it like, you can call it classic CT cinema. And just put up all your throwback stuff.
It's a great title.
Classic CT cinema. You just put up your old school stuff, and we could put you could even throw one of the old stuff that we did together, like the battle, just all old stuff. Because people gotta see your old stuff.
It was like I was a kid, and I'm so small. Those be the comments. It's like nobody looks at the joke. Everybody's like, man, look at CT. Hey, man, you got to get back to that. And it's like, come on, man. Could you just look at the joke? No, but you got to put it up, man, because you got that grown man. I always said grown man size. And I said pause before I even said it. But you're a grown man, bro. Who cares about that? But you got comedic gems. I don't just say that because you're my friend and you sitting across the table for me. Like, these are facts.
Funny nigga. So classic CT cinema. Drop that. This has been an amazing episode. Thank you. You
tried to end this episode 7 times, and
keep going.
It's because I don't. What schedule? I always look for this. You know what I'm saying? And then you just be like, all right, let's go ahead.
I just be trying to just adhere. You know what I'm saying?
All they ask for are longer episodes. We give it to them, and you cutting it short. I'm fine. All right, cool. Ladies
we got
and
other
gentlemen.
stuff on the box, but
listen, you didn't get to at least get to the rest of it. It's 2, 3, and 4.
Can we have a few more minutes? Yeah,
go ahead, man.
Cool. All right, man. Listen, don't throw me out a good time. Now, I want to ask you this because you just recently went on a flight. So, passengers got asked to help detain a man trying to open the door on a flight. So, people were on a Delta airline and a passenger tried to open. Now, this is something and this is another reason why we were joking, but I was not so joking with telling you about like the way you drive, just because this is a theory that I have. I have a theory that people have been inside the house for too long. They coming out different. Mental health is a real thing, people. Everybody got guns now. Everybody's we've never been, this is rare air. We've never, at least not in my lifetime, said everybody go in the house for a year and then come out and be like, well, let's see if anybody's acting different. Like, this a lot. So with that being said, that's scary because this is the second thing I've heard about. If I heard somebody tried to just bust into a cockpit recently and crash the plane, what would you do if you're on a plane and somebody's trying to open the exit door? Because that's obviously going to
Few thoughts. First thought is nobody should have had to ask the passengers to help detain a guy that's trying to open the door.
We're all affected by this.
Yes, if this door is open, we flying out.
Well, I pay for my ticket. The staff got to do that.
I'll take care of that. I'm just trying to get to Tulum.
I'm minding my business like CT said. This is not where he would say to do that.
Can we go to ballet, please? I'm not trying to help. You're not going to get anybody. The second thing is, I'll address this for the car thing because you said this a couple times. Don't speak any possible negative outcomes on anybody.
I'm not.
No, I hear what you're saying.
I'm just saying,
but let me finish my thought. I hear what you're saying, but I want you to remember words are powerful.
They are.
And when you say certain things, that could happen
in the universe. So I apologize. Didn't mean to say it like that.
It's like, hey man, you better be careful, man. People got guns. They've been in the house all year. They're gonna kill somebody. It's like, all right, I want to hear that as I'm driving home.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that we just need to be cognizant because people are on edge and people are acting in a certain type of way.
And
sorry, I didn't mean to say that.
No, it's fine. Right. But that, and I'm gonna wrap it up with the airplane thing after I say this point. Okay. My nephew had come out to visit me. Okay. Well, actually, to live with me over a year ago, and he had a check that came to my house from one of his jobs, right? And I think the check was like $500. Okay. He comes with me. I take him to the bank. The bank is like, nah, we can't cash that. And they're like, we can't cash that because you don't have an account. So you gotta go. And he's like, and I'm like, hey man, you can cash the check if he doesn't have an account. You just have to take a certain amount out of the check. Right. And he's like, yeah, we could do that. Is that what you want to do? And I was like, he could have just offered this to him, right? So then my nephew was like, how much would be taken out? And then there was an amount that was going to be high or whatever. And he was like, but if you want to sign up for an account and just deposit this, and then we could, we'll charge you a little bit for this. And I was like, hey, man, why would you? He's a kid, man. Right. Why don't you just cash his check, right?
And let him go.
Right. And I speak the way that I speak, and my nephew doesn't cash the check there. I said, you know what? Hey, man, come with me. I'll take you to my bank. I'll endorse this over. I'll give you all your money. You know what I mean? So he's like, okay. We do it. I take him to my bank, cash the check. He gets all of his money. He doesn't have to create an account. He's free to do whatever he wants with his money. Right. Later on that week, he's like, you know what, Uncle? I just don't like how you talk to people. I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, we were in that bank. You were really rude to that guy, and he didn't do it. He was just doing his job. And I said, do you realize you're taking the side of somebody who doesn't give a damn about you or wanting you to have your money? They were trying to get something out of you. I proposed a solution. You got all of your money. I don't hear any thank yous or appreciation on that. All I hear is how much I was wrong to this stranger that you're not living with, that has done nothing for you or keeping a roof over your head or anything. But you're taking this guy's side, right?
Right.
I want you to hold on to that.
Okay.
That happens.
Okay.
So cut to us having a conversation last week on the show. We're talking about the security guard downstairs, which this week, guy, has been amazing. This is a different guy.
Different guy.
A different security guy, which we've never had a problem with any of the other guys, only that dude.
Look like us.
We described, this dude looked like us too. We described what happened with both of us.
Right.
And what do I see in the comments? That guy was only doing his job. You need to be glad that guy's doing his job. So us saying how this guy was rude to us, how disrespectful he was, and how both of our experiences were different but similar. And this is the show that you guys, whether you like Doughboy, whether you like me, whether you love us both together, you're supporting us. But you felt the need to take the side of somebody that you didn't even see on camera just because we told you what he did for a living. You took the stranger side. Goes right back to the bank, right?
Come on.
That annoys me.
Okay.
Why are you capping for somebody that doesn't give a damn about you when you got two brothers here that literally tell you how much we love and appreciate y'all for watching the videos, how much I'm feeding you and putting you in my crib under my roof rent free, all of these things. So it goes to us driving today.
Okay.
You felt my driving was erratic. I tell you, I'm not going to ruin my own shit. This is a car. I hear about you with the trauma and everything, but I'm hearing about all this bobbing and weaving in traffic. But what I don't hear, and I know you said it, but I'm saying what I don't hear as much is, man, you got us here safe and sound. You got us here on time. And I really appreciate being alive. Like none of that. I'm just hearing, hey man, you know what I'm saying? People have guns. You got to think, man. So that's what I'm saying.
That was a dope, and no, it was a really dope analogy to what you're saying, because it also speaks to where I can let my mind go to sometimes, which is for whatever reason, always the negative part of things, the negative comments, the
great
things.
example.
So no, that's definitely dope, and I think that you're 100% right on it. I'm gonna definitely try to not do that again.
Just focus on the positive, man. But the airplane, like yes. I tried my best.
It was great.
Jesus. And that's another thing about.
Took us down a little walk down there.
You gotta take the walk. Like so with stand up, you do the exact same thing.
Right.
Bam, 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 bam. It's also a lot of misdirection because you never know what the full point is, which is the punchline. Now the plane.
About this nigga trying to open up the exit.
Now the plane, bro. Here's my thing. Also, what are you doing, bro? You're trying to open the door of a plane. People are helping because they don't want another terrorist possible situation. One, two. It's like, yo, I would have done the same thing. You actually getting free reign to hold somebody down. Give us the next one.
Okay, hold on. So you're saying just whatever with that. Okay, so then this was funny. Somebody proposed in LA today, and they basically asked a young lady to marry them. But then they also shaded Joe Rogan at the same time and basically said Joe Rogan is really 5'3".
That's unnecessary.
Is that not the best classic roast, though? It's random as hell. You'll go down in infamy for it. Literally the best proposal that I've seen this year. I mean, you get a burn in at Joe Rogan. He's probably a huge fan.
Yeah.
And side note, Joe Rogan's 5'3"?
No, he's not 5'3". He's 5'7". If he's 5'7", I would say he's probably, I'm 6. I think he might be 5'9" or 5'10". Like I know he's not, he can't be that short, but he's definitely not 5'3".
Can we at least shout out this guy for having the stones?
That's not stones.
That is stones.
That's not stones.
To roast Joe Rogan via skywriting during a proposal?
You know why
He's
that's not
a proposal.
No, it's not. Do you know how much money it costs?
How did you propose?
How did I propose?
Yes,
so glad you asked.
I know it's not better than this guy skywriting and roasting.
I'll let you and the audience decide.
Okay.
I proposed to Tangerine on her birthday. Her birthday's May 30th. So May 30th, 2013. Okay. I told her I had a surprise for her. I took her to the Standard LA downtown. It's a hotel. It's pretty well known. You were, okay. if you would allow me. I hit up all of her closest friends. I hit a few of our closest friends. And then I brought in her mother and her father, who actually ended up dying later that year.
Rest in peace.
I had asked his permission to propose to her. I went to the rooftop. And, so we could kill time to where everybody was here. I blindfolded her, had the headphones on her, so she didn't know where we were until we got on the roof. Took the blindfold and the headphones off of her. She looked at the view downtown. She was mesmerized. She was happy. We ended up bumping into Tahir, because Tahir, listen, man, Tahir was the only person we knew with a camera. And I was like, Tahir, can you just video record this, right? And he was like, I got you, right? He shows up earlier than expected, comes to the roof. In his defense, I never told him to come to the roof.
Right.
Not to come to the roof. So she sees him. She's like, oh, Tahir's here. And I'm like,
Tahir's here?
He better not mess this up, right? And I was like, yeah, that's crazy. Tahir always around some artsy stuff.
Crazy
so,
Tahir.
Right. So we go downstairs and I say, yo, I just wanted to say happy birthday. She was like, oh, thank you, baby. This was a fun night. I'm like, yeah. And everybody was around her. So when she turned around, it was a huge surprise. She saw everybody with her. And she's like, oh my God, you came. And that's why she's in the surprise. I'm on one knee. She turns around because everybody's like, yo, look at that. And she's like, what am I? And I'm on one knee. I told her how much she meant to me, how much she's helped me become a better man. And I would be honored if she spent the rest of her life with me. She said, I will definitely marry you. Like I said about her father, he gave me the permission. Her father died a couple months later. Very sad time. Right. But it was a sign that he had given her to me because he felt that she was in safe hands. So that's
way better than this. Who is this Yahoo sitting there doing a skywriting? He thinks he's funny.
Do you know how much it costs to do a skywriting?
Yeah, he's sitting there wasting it trying to talk about Joe Rogan.
So if that's it, we've had an incredible episode.
Last thing.
Yeah.
Will you help me plan my proposal to Tony?
Thank you so much for watching. It's been a great episode.
You gotta help me.
Had nothing.
I've got to do it this year. You understand? On a Tuesday. All right,
on
man,
a Tuesday. CT, the Just Us League podcast.
Yeah. That was my favorite.
That was the best.